Welcome everyone to another episode of Let's Play Dark Souls 2. In this one we are going to be heading to a different area, which happens to be called the Huntsman's Copse, I do believe. So if we go back here, you have to talk to this lady who is near the Tower of Fire bonfire. It's a little bit of a mouthful. In the Hyde's Tower of Flame. Okay, it's not Tower of Fire, Tower of Flame bonfire. But you go there, talk to her, she's a miracle lady. She'll come here, and you can pay her 2,000 souls to perform a little miracle and change the path. So this takes you to a different area, which is very useful because otherwise you can't get here. Rogue water right there is a neato thing. It's I don't know what it does. I think that's the one that makes your weapons be able to do bleeding damage, but I don't recall exactly. So, this area is pretty interesting. And by interesting, I mean it's okay. You know, I like it, I think, more than Darkroot Basin, but it definitely feels like it because it's just like a forest. Surprisingly more of a forest than the Forest of Fallen Giants. But regardless, there are a few things you gotta be very careful of. First being is once you get up here, trying to remember exactly where, there's a spot you have to be very careful of. I'll point it out when I get to it, but firstly, there's this guy here sitting on a chair. Why does he have a chair? I don't know. Why is he here? I don't know.
I don't know who you are, but leave me be.
Yeah.
The frailty of the weak disrupts the dark.
He's obsessed with dark. I don't know what you need to be able to talk to him, but I don't have the gift of dark. Maybe that means I need a dark weapon. Maybe that means I need to be able to use hexes. I don't know. But he doesn't want anything to do with me. I was half tempted to kill him right there. Oh well. So yeah, oh my god, it's not corpse, it's Copse. Well, I'm stupid. I don't know, I think it would be pronounced Copse. But I called it the Huntsman's Corpse because there's a bunch of corpse walking around. I believe it was in the strategy guide I read that this area upcoming is actually the forest in which they would hunt the undead when the undead were first, swarming the place. But now it's where the undead will hunt us. So that's a bit of a change. So far, all we've seen is just small hollows. There's just basically hollows in this area. Also, careful. That shit will poison you. So if you don't have any items for it, you'll be in real big trouble in this next area. But honestly, it's better to just rush through. But it looks like I managed to get through just fine without getting poisoned. You don't have to kill these guys. Much like in the Undead Asylum in the first game, these are the kind of enemies that are just going to sit there, and I don't think they will aggro at all. I think those are supposed to be tombstones, but I'm not sure. So you can see right there that tree is pushable. It can be used as a shortcut, but first you have to go into this building. If I recall, I believe this area is actually one of those areas that, or maybe the only area, I don't know, I wasn't in the beta, but I think this area was in the Dark Souls 2 beta, which is pretty neato, because I remember seeing this bit in some gameplay of someone's video talking about Dark Souls 2, that they were in this area. This room is fairly easy. You just gotta be careful of a few things. Don't fight this guy inside, because there's some archers on the other side, and or bowmen, or crossbowmen, I don't know which. But yeah, be wary of left. There's that guy. But also, there's another guy farther to the left. I was just trying to look around here. You gotta be very careful. Don't drop down from where you are, because there is a bit of a hazard down below, which you can't see. You might have been able to see it there, but you'll get a better view soon enough. It's tough, to be honest. But I recommend, if you're not going for any items, you could just continue on through the area by going through this door. There's a bad guy there. And just rushing past him, or killing him and then rushing through to the left, because that will take you forward into the area. Oh my god. That is a little dangerous. I think this is one of the few enemies we've actually seen using daggers. It's not super common. So he's more of an assassin character, but I'm pretty well off right now, so I don't have to worry at all. Yep, dealing with these guys just fine. Yeah, I can't really hit him. I try. I managed to hit on every side of him except the center. See that shit? Like, that's some pretty good aim if I was trying to miss them on purpose. But regardless, if you do want to take them out, you could drop down over here. That's safe. You can see the floor. I don't recall there being anything outrageously awesome down here, so if you skip here for the items, don't worry. You're not going to miss too much, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, your best bet would probably be to take out the first melee guy, come up here and take out the archers, which quickly, you know, become melee, which I do hate, but that's just how it is. And the rest of them, the hollows, aren't much of a issue. You just got to be careful that you don't let them get some attacks off. I think my character tried to do a backstab there, but it just didn't go through. They will drop rogue items, which you could get a whole rogue set, I think in a chest later on. I don't know if you do anything with that. It looks like a door, but I don't know. Right there. Holy shit, almost died. That's like the whole Sparta. I don't think it goes anywhere. If you look at a message, yeah, it says not here, and then someone says like don't you dare. As far as I can tell, that is just a hole in the ground which takes you to nowhere. So be very careful, because I think they were intending that people might see the archers and be like, alright, I'm going to drop down and go over there, and they just drop right into the hole, which I nearly did myself. But regardless, this is actually after I had gone to the bonfire, because I wasn't sure where to go. There's a path up to the roof that would have been to the right when we first... when you're looking at the archers, that walkway to the right, you can go and get on the roof to get a couple items. Nothing crazy again. But instead, if you go out the left through there, you can push over this, which is always nice. And there's that bonfire right here, which is very useful. So that's, I think, 2 bonfires that are pretty close together. A lot of bonfires are pretty farther, or farther away. But out of all of them, I think those 2 are the closest to each other. But regardless, we're coming up on that piece right there. I don't know how you're supposed to get that. There's like an item there, but I'm not sure how you would get it. So this area, it's not tough, but it has a couple of things that if you're not ready, you're gonna get wrecked. So firstly, yeah, there's this guy. I managed to kill him quick enough. But there's a couple of undead that will always be waiting, and they'll activate as you get onto the bridge, so that they chase you. Also, there's a bit of a rogue with a club here. Yeah. Right here, you don't have to really worry, but the second you get across the bridge, you know, all bets are off. You might die if you're not careful, because there's a couple hazards. First being, I think these are the first time we're seeing them. These guys right here. These guys are a little bit tough. I don't know what they're called, but the weapon he's using is perfect for going past shields. So if you're like, if he attacks and you have a shield active, then it's very possible it'll just basically loop around and stab you regardless. That makes it really tough to deal with him. I got lucky enough right there that I wasn't actually hurt. But right there, you can see he has pretty strong attacks. If anything, it probably would have been better if I just foregoed the shield and rolled. But it doesn't matter. Also, sometimes when he holds his weapons up like he's gonna like slam them down, he will, instead of actually slamming down, will chase you. So if you try to roll away too quickly or too soon, then he'll just chase you and you'll die. Also, careful. I don't know what it is or where it's coming from, but watch when I get this item. Just watch around me. Yep, poison. Boom. I don't know how the fuck that happened. And while I was rushing to figure out an item, I had these guys to worry about. And another one of those. Yep, I died. That's really tough. So you gotta be very careful of the poison. I recommend either drawing the enemies out and then going after the items, or rushing through getting the items, but make sure you have some sort of poison resistance going. I have a couple of items. The common fruit and the poison moss are both useful. But it's just, it's a little bit difficult going through. But regardless. I'm glad I haven't been using a bunch of my items, because by the time, well, even now, like, I'm really far into the game, and I still don't feel like I'm like running out of items. Like, I feel like that happened a few times in Dark Souls 1, where I'd just be stuck with items that or stuck at a point where I had no items. But here, it's not like they throw a bunch of items at me, but it's more like there's a wider variety of items, and I don't know, maybe it's like I'm using less, but also maybe it's that they're giving me more. I don't know which it is. Yeah, but with my halberd I can show, it's better to keep a range from these guys, because yeah, you can go up and fight, but if you have some sort of distance you can keep between yourself and them, it's much better. Honestly, I rushed through this area. Like, I didn't bother. There are these like alcoves you can go hide in. That's one of them. I think you drop in from the top to get those items. But I just never went around it. Also, right here, I swear to God, I almost did it. Like, watch. I almost nailed a jump. It seemed like it was gonna work, but I just never got it to. But regardless, I'm sure there's plenty of stuff I missed around here, because I spent very little time in this area. I decided, you know what? Let's just progress on, find the next bonfire. I'll go back here eventually. Never did. Which is, you know, that's how it is. Oh God. So this guy managed to dodge. Don't know exactly what he's supposed to be or who he is or why, but that asshole has a huge weapon. It looks like it's imbued with darkness. Also, it looks like he's wearing the helmet of a bandit, or at least a bandit starting class. I didn't get to see too many of his attacks because I sort of just destroyed him. I think right about here. Oh yeah, trio ahead, then hollow. There is some dangerous stuff there. I don't know. Like, this is one of the few areas that I spent very little time in, so I just did what I needed to and got out of there. Right there, I could have swore I saw someone running, so I thought there was like a phantom that had invaded somehow, but I guess I was just seeing I was just seeing things. What is it? I think there is a place called the Undead Purgatory, which is attached to this area, but I'm pretty sure I never actually go there. Because I believe the Undead Purgatory is the place where it has the chariot boss, because there's a boss where you fight a dude which is on an undead chariot. I don't know if the chariot is undead, but the dude on the chariot is undead. But regardless, there's a chariot you fight at some point as a boss. But I never did. I don't know if it's required. I don't think it is. Also, I think this is the first time we've seen a dude using a whip as a weapon, which is a little different. Like, it's not normal. But I guess he's allowed because he has a bunch of darkness on his stuff. But we're still in the forest. I wanted to show off. This is, I got some items here. Oh yeah, that's right. So, there is a switch you need to hit, which activates the bridge, which I think you can see, or you might have been able to see. It was off to my right. Basically, the right there, yeah. That's a bridge, but the bridge itself is raised up. So you have to hit a switch. I wasn't aware. I just managed to luck into it, which saves me probably a lot of confusion. Because there's this hut here, and I was like, oh, there's a place. Let's see if there's items. And there happens to be a switch, as well as a little bit of a trick. They're like, oh, you go for the switch, you're going to get hit by an ambush. I don't know, sometimes I just get real lucky, like where like enemies will drop in, I'll just manage to perfectly avoid them. But yeah, and there's the message is like, oh yeah, be wary of above. Also, I'm glad that it was apparent that the switch did that, because otherwise I could have been very confused and been like, oh, there's... Oh yeah, they even said there's a lever needed, but I got lucky. And this actually brings us over to the next bonfire, but this bonfire is blocked by a door right there. That door requires a key, which is up ahead. It's pretty easy to find. It's just you have to first get get the key, which I wasn't aware, but, you know, again, I managed to get pretty lucky and not die. Oh, God. Which do I pick? Yeah, so I avoided the cave, which is good, because the cave is a bit of a shortcut. It's faster to get through that, through the area by the cave, but there's a bunch of skeletons and, like a mage-type character with darkness. Maybe hexes, I don't know. I think they're hexes. But, holy shit. That place. Skeletons are just obnoxious, and there are some, containers that contain something. Basically, like, they're containers with, like, weird faces on them, and they ooze darkness, and they slowly curse you, which is not good. I don't know exactly what the effect of curses are, but don't get cursed, because I assume it's bad. Oh yeah, visions of women. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I was, like, very confused here. No matter what the message says, I usually start raising my shield just to be careful. Oh yeah, that's right. There's a little bug. He's not a bug, but that guy. The fucking, Titanite, beetle. Oh, I just love that, don't you? Like, I'll be swinging attacks and I'll try to, I'll try to attack a guy, but sometimes my camera will switch, positions to aim at someone else, and that ruins me every so often. And it's not like I blame the camera or whatever, it's just doing its job, but due to proximity, it'll just like shove the camera over to a different guy, which can make it very tough when you're trying to fight big groups with someone else farther away. God damn, that archer did a lot of damage. You know, I'm not gonna lie, for half a second I was like, could I jump that? But I realized, oh wait, I'm not Superman. Like, I'm not gonna make that jump at all. I'm just gonna murder myself if I try. It's weird that those messages keep showing up every time I exit the area, because it's like the lever and then that. I just stumbled into it and got lucky, and then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, there's a thing you just already knew about. I could've... what the fuck? Oh, I guess he swung and then spun himself around. I did not expect that. Again, with my sheer dumb luck, I keep, like... during that fight, I dodged like 3 or 4 of this guy's attacks, just luckily. Alright, so here's the key where you... I love that. Those assholes. They totally had this planned. Here's the key you need. So this key will actually open up the door to that bonfire, which I mentioned before, the undead lockaway key. Very useful. Definitely get it, because otherwise you won't be able to open the bonfire. I put 2 and 2 together. I was thinking, alright, this is probably for the bonfire. Oh god, don't do it. Don't go in there. No. Not this area. Yeah, at that point I was like, nope, no, not today. Not dealing with those skeletons. It's not fun. Honestly, I do recommend just grabbing the key and then sprinting the hell out of there. Don't bother with anything else. Just go back here and open the bonfire, because having a bonfire here is much more useful than exploring a little and dying. I always try to prioritize bonfires over exploration, because if I see a bonfire, I'm going to light it, and I'm going to sit at it. Otherwise, it's very possible I could just die randomly and lose a lot of progress when I didn't need to otherwise, and that does happen a few times. But anyways, this guy is actually an important character. I'll explain him a little bit when I get a chance.
Who are you?
But here's his dialogue.
I thought you were that bastard for a moment. You've set me free. The cheeky prick. He won't know what hit him. I am Creighton of Mirror. I travel from land to land to hut. I've heard this land was full of danger. I joined forces with a man on the way, but he was no more than a backst. He took the first chance he had. I decided to set a trap for him here. I can't believe that I was so dense. You be careful of him. Pate, I think he said.
Yep.
There's this rather unusual ring. I've seen his type before. He kills entirely for the pleasure of it. I'm sure I won't be his last victim. The man's better off dead. He's a slick talker, so don't let him fool ya.
That is right. So, Pat, is the guy we met in the Forest of Fallen Giants. He was sitting down near the ballista trap. So Pates or Pats or whatever, and Crichton have a sort of a quest you could follow. If you talk to both them, so you talk to Pates, then Crichton, and then I believe it's Crichton Pates. In that order, in terms of areas. You can actually meet them up at a different area later on and decide who lives and who dies because they're locked in battle. And you decide, and you side with the guy who you don't attack, and you get his armor set and some other stuff. So it's very useful to go through that, but I end up fucking up and I accidentally miss one of them, so I do not actually go through with the whole thing. But you should if you come across these guys, so watch out for that.